everyone, my name is Savannah. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are showcasing our creative conservation contest build, or build contest. This was something held over on the Discord channel, and we've had it going on for a couple months. So there was a certain set of rules that everybody had to build within, and then the community voted. So today in the video, you're going to see the top 10 entries, but we did actually have a tie for 10th place. So in this video, you'll actually see 12 builds all together, because the first 3 that you'll be seeing all tied for 12th place. So the rules that they had to build by, first and foremost, the build had to fit within a provided border, so all the builds are going to be the same size. The total combined traversable habitat space must be 1,000 square meters or less. They were able to build multiple habitats, but they all had to be for one animal species. So because the idea was creative conservation, having different habitats for maybe raising young, or maybe releasing some of the individuals into the wild, or some that were sick or injured, or something like that. Just encouraging everyone to think about what you would want in a conservation focused facility. They had to include a keeper hut, a mechanic, and a research center of either size, so it just depended on what they wanted to include at least 2 educational signs for the habitat build, because again, conservation is so focused on being able to educate the public in order to see results and let them know what's going on. So we wanted to make sure that people coming to this facility were going to be well educated. They could be the in-game ones, but they also could be custom built ones. It was really up to the creator. And then lastly, everybody had to keep all their build progress a secret until after this video releases, and that way, or at least after voting took place, and that way voting was done based purely on the build and not based on who built what. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So the very first build we have today is the red ruffed lemur habitat built by Marcy. So this is, like it says in the description, a red ruffed lemur enclosure for some red ruffed lemurs that are being released into the wild. Her description says that it has 1 guest facility, an information center, and 5 staff facilities, a keeper hut, as well as a quarantine and a nature walk. So animals can be viewed either in the conservatory, where lemurs are being reintroduced to the native flora and being prepared for wild release, or the conservation dome, where guests can see lemurs one last time before they're being released into the wild. So I think this is what we've entered into right now, is the conservatory. So we're gonna walk right up here and see that we have a beautiful view of these red ruffed lemurs. They have a couple platforms to stand on and climb on all these vines, so you can get nice up and close and personal with them. And if I do, yep, this is one-way glass, which is perfect for animals that you are preparing to release into the wild, because you don't want them to get too accustomed to being in close proximity to humans. So that is fantastic. We also have a keeper talk here, which is a great educational tool. We have some stuck guests, but we're just going to go ahead and ignore them. We're not connected up to the entrance, so these guys are a little confused as to what to do, but that's okay. They can stay confused while we tour. We got lots of education here, which is awesome. So an in-game educational sign, as well as some custom built sign here, red ruffed lemurs critically endangered, and it explains how we can help, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. And then if we go over here, we saw on the way up, we have life as a lemur, some more education about that. And we actually passed this sponsor a lemur and the native Madagascar flora, which I think is awesome. So teaching people about the plants, because the animals would not be able to thrive unless the plants and trees are protected as well. So that is phenomenal. And this sponsor a lemur is something that is really common with zoological societies, but also just conservation efforts. People can pay for their care. So I think that is spot on. That's great. And then we have a waterfall and lots of trees and everything around here as we approach the conservation dome, which is beautiful. We have lots more education over here. So wild bound, we have a release schedule, which I think is really creative. So letting people know who's getting released and what the process is. Another keeper hut. And then we walk over here and we have the exhibit that they get to see them one last time before they're released into the wilds. Obviously, we have the keeper huts and facilities behind here that have a really nice view on the enclosure so they can keep an eye on them. So really beautifully done. I love this dome that it lets in all the light. And then we got plants right here in the center, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and zoom on over to the very last part. Oh, we got a little boat. That's awesome in the river. Very last part over here, we have the Conservation and Research Center, or part of the build. And I really, really like this because making it kind of part of the build and decorating it so that it's nice for guests to look at is really creative because, you know, in a conservation center, you probably would be bringing people through on a tour of the facilities. So having it look nice and up to date and state of the art and things like that just kind of encourages people to donate. Let's go ahead and jump out of Tejitcam real quick to take a look at the build overall. You can see this enclosure is really, really well done. Lots of trees, lots of plants, nice big shelter for them, one-way glass so that they don't get too accustomed to the humans, lots of things to climb on. Really, really well done. And I really like this live living roof here. Really gives the feel that this center is totally for conservation efforts and keeping in mind environment and all that kind of stuff. It really gives a really nice feel to it, as well as the color choices that you've used on the wall. So really, really well done, Marcy. All of this is going to be in the link, in the descriptions down below. There will be a link to all of these builds so you guys can check them out yourselves. And please go over and give the creators some love and some support for their builds, because all of these entries are really well done. So we're going to hop into the next one and check that one out. All right, guys, jumping into the next one here, which is also tied for 10th. This one was built by Shahar Pratt, and I will apologize if I do mispronounce anything. I am absolutely atrocious at pronouncing names, so I do apologize first and foremost if I do mispronounce anything. But this one is the Gariel Education Center and Burger Bar. So we do have some food facilities in this one, and I really love in the entrance here the kind of cage for the foliage. Maybe they are meant to be some aviaries or something like that, or just a way to show off some of the plants, but I just think they're really well done. I also really love, if we kind of scoot over here, this wall right here, this fence line with the leaves poking through. I think that is really well done. And then before we go in, we have a beautiful entrance with a water feature on either side. I love the rocks sunken into the waterfall itself. I think it gives it a lot of detail. We have a lot of detail on the walls as we come in here, and then a nice big open space is what we are greeted by. And as we walk in here, let's go ahead and go to the left first, and we are greeted by some benches, and it looks like this is the burger bar part of it. Yep, that's where we can buy a hamburger if we want to, or a cheeseburger, whatever you are feeling like today. We got some nice seating here in the sun, but I think my favorite part is out here on this little deck. I mean, look at the view of these Gariels. It looks like you could reach out and touch them. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend doing that, but you could. They're that close. And then we got little babies. Look at them swimming around. They're so cute. So this is a wonderful, wonderful view. Look at all of the trees. I love the backdrop of all of the foliage. Really makes you feel like it's kind of an immersive experience where, oh, we got somebody climbing a little crazy on the lily pads over there, but really makes you feel like immersed in the enclosure, like it is kind of all around you, and gives a really nice background to what you're looking at. Like, look at all of the detail over here with the rocks and everything. Really, really well done. And they have lots and lots of swimming space, but the enclosure, I think, continues over to the other side. So let's go ahead and run through these tables real quick over to the other side. And then we have a really cool, like, step up area here so that we get, step up area so that we get a really close look at the Gariels themselves, which is awesome. You can see them over here. There's a little cave structure over there that they get to go in. Some food right there where the keepers left for them. So really well done. We'll kind of go in there in a minute, but I love this little educational area here. So we have all these little artifacts on the walls. We have a Gariel skeleton, which I think is really cool, kind of teaching about the animal. Maybe there's some fossil record facts over there. But then lots of stuff about teaching the area that they come with. Of course, we do have the Gariel education signs to teach about the animals themselves as well. And then some general conservation signs here. So really, really awesome job. Let's go ahead and check over here because I think there is a backstage facility right over here. So yeah, so going in here, we have our facilities, but we also have a backstage little holding pen, which I think is really cool. So if you needed to bring the animals in here for whatever reason to separate them, or if you have a new one coming into the enclosure, you can put them there. And then we pop into the enclosure here. And we can see their little cave. I believe they can get up here for maybe some basking area for in the sun. We got the little babies marching their way over here. And then lots and lots of swimming space for them. If we jump out into Tejikam, or out of Tejikam here, we can see an overall view where the water just kind of wraps around. We have a water feature, which I didn't really see from the inside. So that is beautiful. That is really well done. And I just love overall, like the shade structure here, I think is great. And then the two different levels of the roof, because you very could have easily just kept this flat, but I think it adds some dimension doing this little raised part, but it also makes it nice and open and just a really wonderful view. Like right when we walked up the entrance right here, you could just kind of be greeted with this really pretty view. So really, really well done. Thank you so much for entering. We are going to hop into the next one. All right, so jumping into our next one, this is the last entry that did tie for 10th place. This is by Emily Catherine Roth, and then it's just titled the Creative Conservation Contest. But we can see right here, we are in Lemur Land. So this is for some red ruffed lemurs. The description for this one says the submission features what I like to call a walk and talk habitat. At the entrance, there's an educational talk given twice a day. That's what we're walking up on right now here. We can see that it's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the left pathway is dedicated to teaching you all about the red ruffed lemurs. So we'll go check that out in just a minute. Complete with both indoor and outdoor habitats for the animals and plenty of food and drink for the guest to watch the lemurs do their natural behaviors. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Go inside first here and check out the views that we get of the lemurs. And yep, there you can see them all running around. Do ignore the broken glass. I kind of just have not checked anything and just taken away the UI so that you guys don't see that. But the lemurs you can see are jumping around. They have this big open door to go outside. Lots of stuff to climb on. I love the use of this new like foliage wall that we got in the aquatic pack. That is beautiful. A nice security camera. Make sure nobody is tapping on the glass and being mean to the lemurs. That's perfect. We have a balloon shop. We have a beautiful red ruffed lemur sign right here. Really well done. And I also love all the use of the vines here. I always seem to struggle using these vines, mostly because I think I don't have the patience to kind of place them all down where they look nice and look natural, but this is really, really well done. And then we have another sign here, red ruffed lemurs, and some cash machines there. I love the overall aesthetic of this with the corrugated metal walls and the plants and things like that. Really, really beautiful. So let's go ahead and head back here. We have some vending machines and I believe, yeah, a staff area. So, oh, look at this. All of the items and things that make it look a little cluttered. That's awesome. I love a good backstage area. We got a place for them to hang out here and then all of the facilities, which is really awesome. So they've got all the required facilities and more back here, which is great. I love this fence. I will be using this as heavy inspiration, I feel, sometime in the future because this is beautiful. I love the colors and I love just the simplicity of it. Really, really nicely done because this right here, I believe, is like the mural, I think it's called or something. So this wooden piece that's all tan is one piece, but adding the little detail to it just makes it that much better. So really, really well done on that. So let's go back out here to the front and take a look at our education walk right here. So we have red ruffed lemurs, and we have a whole bunch of real facts about them, which I think is awesome that you took the time to actually include these facts in the walk here. Really, really well done. We've got where they're from, we've got their classification, the domain, kingdom, class, family, and order. Perfect. World Lemur Day is October 30th. Mark your calendars so we can celebrate. But let's go ahead, whoops, not exit all the way. Let's take a look at this overall. Really, really beautiful. I love the color scheme that you used in this one. We got our education sign out here, but the colors of the blue walls and the pink mixed with the black coloration is just a really, really awesome color scheme. So really, really well done. Thank you so much for entering. We'll hop into the next one. All right, next up we have a build by Chandravia, I think is how you say it. I'm so sorry if I've mispronounced it, but this build is called the Secret Ruins, and it's a zoo with only one habitat with multiple levels. It's especially for the Western African lions. It's a build under old ruins in a tropical scenery. There's a secret place the lions are hiding. If you're brave, you can see them under the ground. I really like that description because it gives a little bit of intrigue as to exactly what's going on here. But as you can see, just like the description says, built under some old ruins, and I love all the vines and all the bits of rock and crumbly parts of the building. Really, really cool looking. There's lots of food over here, I believe. Yes, food over there. Food in here with a nice little seating area back here. Beautifully done. Lots of decorations on the wall and little attention to detail, which I think is just phenomenal. And then all this wisteria that's all over the place really adds some color along with the vines here and the hanging air plants. Really, really awesome. I love all the attention. I would never have the patience to place something so detailed like this. We are going to move kind of quickly through because I only have a few minutes for each build. Since there are 12, I don't want to take a whole 2 hours to kind of go through all of these. So we're going to head down these stairs. God, you even put some ruins and stuff down on the flights of stairs as we go down. Love all the attention to detail and love the torches and things here. And let's see, we're gonna see an animal soon, I believe. There we go. Here's our first peek at the habitat. Look at that waterfall. That is amazing. And we got the lions down there running around. Let's see if we can't get closer here. Let's look. Oh, we got a view out here too. Wow. Look at this. This is amazing. This is completely underground. I wonder, let me know in the comments, did you build this before putting the roof on or after? Because I can imagine building underground being quite difficult. And if it gave you any difficulties, I'd love to know kind of what your process was. This looks really cool and it keeps going. I think we can go all the way around. Yeah. Oh, we can go to here. Okay, so we can go to here and then look down. Well, let's see if we can't get down closer without just jumping over the railing. We'll be a good guest and kind of follow where we're supposed to go. So if we go down here, we can go all the way around. It's kind of like a really cool queue for like a theme park. All the detailed and stuff and making us walk around and look at how close we can get. Oh, and there's a baby lion. Lions are my favorite animals, guys. So I find them incredibly cute. I love them so much. So I'm so excited that people did decide to build for them because this looks really, really good. This is awesome. All right, let's go over here and see if we can't just kind of take a quick tour. We got some more food here. going around. Those are the keeper facilities in there. We do have some education here. I very quickly got into every build just to make sure that all of the build requirements were met. But that is really, I haven't taken an in-depth look at all of the builds that are entered. So this is really cool getting to come in here and see. Got lots and lots of different viewing points here. More education, that's awesome. Got some stuck guests, but that's okay. Look at this view of the lions from this side. So we just were previously over there and now we're on this side. This is awesome. So you can see here, like even up top, all of this with the waterfall and things like that, all really detailed with all of the trees, all of the foliage, really kind of foresty. And then we have, this is the actual building that we went in to go down with all the details on the roof. Really, really awesome job. Lots of food. You could spend, I mean, hours here looking and exploring and seeing all the little teeny tiny details and stuff like that. Really, really well done. Go over and show some love on the Steam Workshop because this one is super, super creative. Thank you so much for entering it again. This was our 9th place entry. We'll hop into the next one. All right, next up we have a build by Jadipster. This one is the Creative Conservation and Himalayan brown bear is what we are going to be looking at. The description just says that it's a contest for Simply Savannah's Creative Conservation Competition, and it was inspired by the Minnesota Zoo. So as we're going through, that is where they took inspiration from. So we've started off in just a little guest viewing area, and then this, as we kind of approach over here, is really cool, I think. And I do remember this is one of the first entries that I got, so before the keeper talks were introduced into the game, but that is where this, I believe, is supposed to be like a keeper can stand back there and give presentations on the bears. Let's go ahead and play, then maybe we'll have a bear kind of walk over here and show us. But really cool because there is also like a little foraging thing over here, so maybe the keeper would fill that, come over here, and then kind of talk about the bears, which is really cool. And then if we go in here into the den, we can see they have even more education over here with the conservation signs, Himalayan brown bear sign there, a little water feature, which I think is really cute, all these little pots and things all around, and the walls with this stone. I really rarely use this stone and I need to more. But I also really like this roof. Very rarely do I look at the undersides of the roof pieces in the game. And this one has a really cool texture on it, so I'll have to remember that. We have a little habitat over here. It looks like it's an implied habitat, so let me know down below because in your description it doesn't say what's supposed to be in here. But I think that's really creative to add that in there as well. Maybe it's just a thing for those plants, but it could be an implied habitat for an animal as well. And then we have a nice little area here where the bears could come around and play in the water. They have a little toy here. We have a nice little waterfall water feature there. And then this little bridge here, which we can't go over. We can go through it, but we can't go over it. Really cool design in here. I really like what you've done. Let's go ahead and hop out, and we're gonna do a little bit of off-roading and go over to the keeper part of the habitat before we look at the actual inside here. So this back here is the backstage area, and we've got all of our facilities here. Some education here is nice because, like I said, if you're bringing guests back behind the scenes, oh look, we have one of our brown bears right there. So we've got some like maybe quarantine pens or separation pens, something like that to kind of shift bears around. So let's go ahead and head on into here. We have nice big doors that kind of separate. You can see these ones are open right here to the little backstage area that we're in. So this might be where they get new bears or bears that are sick, or just when they're separating them out, you can bring a bear into here and put one over there and so on and so forth. But if we go into the actual habitat, you can see they have lots of stuff to kind of climb around on, lots of trees to hide in, which is really cool. If they are being reintroduced into the wild, you want to make sure again that they don't get too accustomed to people. So let's kind of go down here and around. And you can see this is a smaller little enclosure. So let's see if we can't work our way into there through these bushes. Yeah, perfect. Into here. You can see we have 2 bears on this side that are kind of hanging out in this smaller enclosure. So this is really cool. They've got their little, oh look, it's like a little sliding door or like a roll-up door or whatever you want to call it. But this is really well done. I actually never thought about using these grate pieces as doors, but it's a really good idea, especially if you're trying to save on piece count, because it's just kind of one piece. You can see, oh, maybe if yeah, you can see it's just one piece there, and you don't have to put all the individual bars and stuff like that. So really, really well done. And if we zoom out, you can see the enclosure overall. The bears have got all this space in this enclosure, and then we have a little holding pen over there. So awesome, awesome job. Thank you so much for entering. We are going to hop into the next one. Again, that was entry number 8 for us. So we're going to hop into number 7. All right, jumping into number 7, this is the Chimp House, the Western Chimp House by Diggy Duff. And I personally love this one. And I love them all. I think they're all incredibly creative, but this one just speaks to like my personal aesthetic. Like this, the color of this wall here and the trees in combination with the Australian pieces for the wood fence. It just really speaks to like what I'm drawn to personally, and I love the creativity behind using this color and things like that in the walls, because like I said when we were looking at Lemur Land, or at least I think I mentioned, I was thinking it, is I struggle with bringing color into my builds without going too overboard and making it look still nice and professional, and I think that's exactly what this one has done, as well as Lemur Land did as well, is bringing nice color into their builds without making it look just like you've shot color all over the place. It's very professional and very, very nice looking, very clean looking. I also love these little signs. So you've actually named all of the chimps, or at least put their names on these signs so we kind of know who they are. Meet the cousins here with some information, and then we have nice big open viewing areas for the chimps. We have an outdoor and an indoor habitat, which is what the description for this one says. I really love all the climbing structures that you've put in place for these guys, because that is really awesome to have put all of that in there. We've got a hanging tire. I really like these kind of like plastic covers on the rope, because that is something that you would definitely see in a zoo as some enrichment for them to run around on. I really like that door too. That's another thing I struggle with, is making like realistic looking doors. That one looks really good. We come over here. I love the railing that kind of keeps the guests back away from the actual wall. But then you can see if we stand on the railing, we have another little separation here. So like the animals would not be able to get into this middle part here. So we have a little bit of a buffer between us and the animals, and you can see a little chimp over there running around outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the upper viewing area up here. Oh, and we've got some binoculars. Oh, look, he's actually using it. That's awesome. That's awesome. A little glitchy, but he's using it nonetheless. That's not the builder's fault. That's the game. So looking down here, we've got some protective barriers so that you/your items don't fall in with the animals. Really, really well done. We have a waterfall and feature over there. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. I do believe there is a backstage area for this one. So let's kind of run over there real quick, sprinting through the zoo. We have, oh, look, a little cart. I missed that on the way in. Little like beverage cart. Cool. I did close all the zoos just to keep the guests as much as I could out of the way. I know we've gotten some stuck guests, but little backstage area here. But that way they just wouldn't kind of get in our way as we're walking through, and we can really appreciate the build without having the guests all over the place. We have a little power unit right there. And then if we go inside here, it's a little backstage holding area for the chimps, which I think is really cool. And you can see there's a drain in the floor, easy cleaning, perfect. And then we have this roll-up door that, oh, hello. This roll-up door that goes out into the actual habitat. So if we kind of escape here, And look at this overall. This is just such a cool, it fits in the border. You can see the border did go exactly around this build, but it's just a really well laid out, well thought out exhibit with a nice little backdrop for a lot of where you're looking so that you're not looking off into nothingness. Really, really well thought out. And oh, I didn't even notice there's skylights in this roof. And then this roof is also not a square. So really well done, because I absolutely hate doing custom roofs and anything that's not like a square or a natural like 15-degree pitch that all of the pieces come in. So awesome job. It's got a little bit of a slant there. You even put some drainage on it. Awesome. And then this right here is really well done. I so wish we had horizontal fencing or mesh or whatever the word I'm looking for here. Using the glass is a really good way to fake it. It looks really nice. But I do wish we had some sort of horizontal netting or something like that in the game. So really, really well done. Thank you so much for entering, Diggy Duff. You are number 7, and we are going to jump into number 6 now. All right, jumping into number 6. This one is by Cedric. I don't want to pronounce the last bit of your Steam Workshop name because I know that I would butcher it, and I don't want to say it so incorrect. I don't want to offend anybody. So the name is going to be up on the screen though. This is the Red Ruffed Lemur Zoo, and so we've started in the parking lot. You can see there's a space for a bus there. Also tons of parking and a beautiful sign that you're greeted with. Lots of trees and plants all around. I love the use of these branches here as just like a decorative thing. We're actually going to run through them real quick because we got off the path. Over here, we're going to go into the entrance here. So you can see this is actually the gate. Lots of detail on the floor, which I think is really cool, and some water features on the side. We're going to head on into here, and before we go into there, because that is the overall build, we're going to head over here and check out this is a little bit of a viewing area for the red ruffed lemurs. So you can see them kind of hanging out, lots of enrichment items so they can be encouraged to come over here. Backdrop on the enclosure, really well done. In here we have some education, so education boards here and here, as well as, oh look, it's like a little fossil, so that's really cool. We saw that one, or saw something like that with the Gariel build earlier, but this is really well done with the lemurs. So in here we have our kind of main entrance area, I'm thinking. We have a bathroom there. And then we come upon our first enclosure here. So you can see the red ruffed lemurs running all around, hopping up and down. Really nice. Lots of lighting. So I imagine this one looks really pretty at night. I love all the details that you've paid attention to, like in the backdrop. So everywhere you look, you're kind of greeted with something to look at that's interesting. We have a sign here. And then we have these really cool little dome areas. Like, can you imagine coming with your family and kind of sitting right here, and you can eat your lunch and watch the lemurs run around? I think that's a really, really cool idea. So let's go back in here and back around. We have another little dome area right here. And then we come on our second enclosure here. So you can see them running around. It looks like they also have like an inside area here and here. So that's nice. More education. I love all the custom education boards. Really, really nice. Is this another habitat? Oh, it is. So this one's more like a long, skinny, behind the scenes habitat, maybe, because there is only a keeper pathway here. So maybe this is just one for lemurs that are sick or injured or something like that. Let's head on over here. And then I believe this one, did it say anything in the description? No, it did not. Maybe this one is for baby lemurs or something like that, because this one is fairly small. They have an outdoor habitat and an indoor part, and then some custom signage right in front. So that's pretty cool. Oh, this one's a keeper talk area too. So we've got little ramp up to some seating there. We've got the keeper talk right in front of the enclosure. That's awesome. So somebody can come over here and talk about the lemurs. And then we're back to, yeah, we saw this enclosure already. More custom signage there. Really, really awesome. So you can see overall, this one is another one that fits kind of perfectly within the build thing, kind of using up all the space available, and they even fit in a parking lot. So I think that is awesome. So really, really well done. Thank you so much, Cedric, for entering. We are going to take a look at the next one, which is number 5. So let's hop over. All right, jumping into number 5, this is the Chimpanzee Conservation Center by Janos076. They've created a chimpanzee conservation center located in Guinea, a place where chimpanzees are kept to keep them safe and well fed. The note says this place really exists, but the build is fictional. So I love the idea that this is based off of a real life location, and all of the trees make it look really, really tropical. So it kind of fits the chimpanzees as well. So if we head on in here, I really like these are becoming some of my favorite pieces. The African pieces are something that I didn't really use to start off with, and now I am finding a newfound love for them. You guys are providing so much inspiration for me. I love it. But you can see here, all the chimps are kind of jumping around. They have tons and tons of climbing. I love all the rope features. The patience it takes to work with rope, I am really envious of, because as I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of patience. So the fact that you guys are able to sit there and place them and stuff like that is really, really cool. We have some education here for the chimps, and it looks like we're approaching a cave where a keeper is stuck in a rock. Oh, he freed himself. All right, we can ignore that then because he resolved his own issue. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this conservation sign here where it says help us. We have a speaker, we have a donation bin, but we also have little like pamphlets using the new clipboards. Really, really awesome. I have not seen that before, and I haven't used the clipboards yet myself, so really good job there. We have a beautiful viewing area out this window, and in here, oh look, they have a little hammock and some rugs to lay on. Awesome. Some more education stuff here. And as we leave the cave, I believe all of this is staff area, but the amount of detail that went into decorating the staff area as well is really, really cool. Look, we have like a bike that maybe somebody rode to work. We have a Jeep here because, again, maybe this is just part of the conservation area. Oh, we have a, what is this called? A trailer with a crate on it that the keepers are just walking through, but we're going to ignore that. Some fruit over there next to the keeper hut. Where is the entrance? Is this the entrance to the... Yeah, this is the entrance to the enclosure here. So now we are back behind in the little sleeping area. We can see we have some baby chimps. So cute. I've actually never built for the chimps either. So this is really cool to see. And then now we are in the enclosure and they have lots and lots to climb on. They have a hammock out here and their little foraging area. Oh, look, and the water even goes back here to the waterfall and runs out. They have a little bridge to go across. I was gonna say, the chimps, can they go in? Well, I know they're not supposed to use that as a bridge, but the animals, for whatever reason, see these lily pads as traversable. So they just kind of walk across them. But yeah, look at backing out here. We have a waterfall here and waterfalls there. And then, oh, look, they can go up all the way up here. And they have like a little upstairs area as well. Oh, cool. They have like a little, oh, and there's a ladder. So we just missed it. Oops, let's go down. They have a ladder up to there. Really cool. That's really cool. Awesome. In this little mountain and stuff like that. Wow, that's really creative. Awesome. This one looks really good with all the green, and I love the front entrance sign here using those new letters that we got in the aquatic pack. And then we have the backdrop of the glass back here, keeping them all in. Really well done. Thank you so much for entering, Janos. This is a beautiful, beautiful build. We are going to jump into number 4. All right, we have number 4 by Destiny Raven Silva. This is Clover Park Wildlife Center, and it is for some Himalayan brown bears. So as we go up this hill, I first want to point out I love the front entry sign. It is so simple but so clean and well done. I do struggle to come up with these just very simple designs, but they look so well done with all the flowers in the back here. We're gonna head up the hill into the actual enclosure itself, or the viewing area. We have another little welcome sign. The description for this one says that Clover Park Wildlife Center is dedicated to the conservation and education of the Himalayan brown bear. Our park includes 3 bears, 2 adults, and their cub. So you can see in this main viewing area, we have a couple education signs and huge windows to look out on the bears. We're actually going to poke through the glass here just a little bit to get a nice view of them, and look at the amount of detail on all of the rocks with the flowers and things like that. I've never thought about sinking these little pink flowers in like that, but the result is amazing. So you can see from here, you can basically see the entire enclosure, and then there they go, they're getting fed right over there. There's our two of the 3 bears, and then there's the little cub. Look at how cute the cub is. That is a beautiful view of them eating, and then all the rock work around. This is definitely a more rock emoji deserving build there. Nothing else in the viewing area, but lots and lots of room so that you can pack guests in here. And then let's see, is this one-way glass? It's not one-way glass, but they are kind of far away, so I don't think that that's an issue at all. The bears are still kind of able to get their privacy. They have a nice little shelter here with lots of what is that called? Fern bedding to lay on. So let's go ahead and head over, because I do think there is a little like behind the scenes area too. Oh, we totally missed this. Look at this sign, Himalayan brown bear, with a bear standing up and some information there. That's a beautiful sign as well. I imagine maybe it's one of those ones where you can stand next to it and see how tall you actually are to measure up to the bears. But let's go do a little bit of off-roading here. Back behind to our keeper area. Love that you decorated this as well with some trees and some plants. There's our quarantine there. We have our keeper hut, our mechanic, and our research center. There's the entrance to the habitat there. And let's see, is there anything around here? Oh, another little trading center and a staff room. Awesome build. This one is definitely an example of just, I mean, everything that you need. Very simple, but very, very well executed. The bears have tons of room to run around. I do like the multi-layered aspect of this, because, I mean, for example, say you were putting this in a zoo, maybe you would make this a viewing area as well, but also maybe not, because then they're up here, they get to be looked at while they're up here, but then they can kind of come around here and be a little bit more hidden. So really versatile in that sense, where if you take this and kind of plop it down in another zoo, you can kind of customize it to fit how you want it to. And then it comes all equipped with everything you could need for a zoo, to be honest, within the build limit. So that's an awesome job getting that done, making sure that everything fits in there. So really, really beautiful build. Thank you so much for entering. I'm a huge fan of this one. And again, the choice of building materials, I am a super big fan of these wooden panel pieces here. And then you've also got like a living roof like we saw on the first one, with plants on the roof as well. Really good use of the space. So thank you so much for entering. We are going to jump in to number 3. And again, congratulations, Destiny Raven Silva, for your 4th place entry. Thank you so much for entering. All right, for our 3rd place entry, we have the Lion Conservation Center by Dahlquist 02. And before we enter in here, just looking at the outside of this build, really beautiful with the signs, the foliage, and this one is completely surrounded by a building. The description says it's an all-inclusive conservation center dedicated to the continued existence of the West African lion. This center includes a built-in restaurant and classroom for our guests, as well as a nursery for increased survivability of our cubs. Take time visiting our for numerous museum-like exhibits around the facility. And so this is exactly what we are talking about. On the other side, I believe there's some artifacts and objects that are like museum exhibits to show off the culture and just teach everybody about the lions themselves. So we have our first custom sign piece here, predator or prey. We have an exhibit over there. You can see there's a little sign and then some museum-like little exhibits along the wall here with some donation bins. Love, love, love all of the detail. The attention to detail is really well done in this one. We have our staff only area, but then we also have the classification of our lions here. Really nice touch. This right here is the classroom. Oh, we have feeding time. So at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. you can see the lions being fed. And then look at this. There's little tables with clipboards here for the students, and then a blackboard here with stuff about the lions where the teacher would sit, and then all while learning about the lions, they are in the background, so you can take a look at them while you're learning. That is a really awesome idea and a really creative way to keep education in mind. So if we kind of run over, we had some signs at the entrance here, but run over to the other side. We have more seating. We have a little kind of prop display, so together we can end poaching, some information about that. Love the inclusion of that. Going around to the side here, we have more of the little artifact cases, things that you can learn about. We have a little cafe in here, so look at this. We have a bathroom, we have food, we have drink, and then we have some seating. And then while you sit here, you also get a wonderful view. Look at how close they are right there with the mom and her cubs. How cute. You get to watch them. I also love that you did like a backdrop on the building. You know, it gives the people the idea that the enclosure kind of goes on for longer than maybe it really does. Really nice attention to detail there. And then we have a sign here, the Pride Lands Cafe. Love it. Lions being my favorite animal. Lion King, the Disney movie, is one of my favorite movies as well. So I love the fact that you called it the Pride Lands. Emergency exit only. We have a bathroom here. What's out of the emergency exit? Oh, nothing. It's a true emergency exit out of the whole building. Great. So then we have authorized personnel through these doors. And this I thought was so creative. Let's kind of sneak in here. This is the nursery area that we were talking about. So we have a little exam table here. We have some kennels back here. Such an amazing addition to this build for, cubs or expectant mothers to be, to make sure that they are being well taken care of. I think that is phenomenal that you added that. And then if we go through here, we can see these are, I believe, some doors to the actual enclosure. Yep. And then if we back up here, we can see there is a backstage holding area. And then as well as behind here, we have all of the facilities. Ignore the fact that it's broken. We have a kennel here with a forklift for transporting the animals. If we go up here, I believe it's just more facilities for the staff. Yeah, we have quarantine, keeper's hut, staff room. Awesome. Everything that they could possibly need, and a trading center. So you have every single facility here that you could need for a zoo, which is really awesome. I really like this. This is the underside of the roof, but it just kind of looks cool. Back over here, we have just a wheelbarrow and some backstage stuff. Awesome little addition. It's like kind of a little storage unit area. And then what is behind these doors? Oh, so this is back onto the other side of the build. You can see here where we were before. So if we exit out of here and look at the build overall, I want to take a minute and point out the fact that this roof is entirely custom and it's entirely made out of individual pieces. So each of these planks is individually, maybe not individually placed down, but copied over. So the piece count on this one is rather high, but you get a really cool effect of all the boards, and you're able to do a completely custom roof where it's, weird shapes and things like that. So I want to know, how long did this take you to make? Because this is really well thought out, and all the attention to detail is really impressive. And you can see our lions are happy as can be in the enclosure with their the rock work artwork around here, a tree for some shade. Very, very simple foliage, but that's kind of indicative of what they would have in the wild, so I think it fits perfectly. So really well done. Congratulations on your 3rd place. Beautiful entry. We're gonna hop into number 2. All right, in 2nd place, we have Adventure Aardvark by Finnick. And I absolutely love the name. I think it's such a cute name for this build, Adventure Aardvark. So we're gonna start by hopping inside this building, and this entrance is so beautiful. I love the colors. I love the potted plants, and I love this font. I believe that's one of Ricey's fonts. I could be wrong, but to be honest, when I think font, I think Ricey. But anyway, really fitting, and I love the colors in this one as well. So, okay, there's a lot to look at in this one. So let's first go to the left here. We have a beautiful gift shop here. Oh, look, these are like little, like, what are they, ant farms or something like that? Really cool. We have some shirts over there. We have books and things on that side. And we have the cashier. We even have some educational signs inside the gift shop itself, where we can adopt an aardvark. It's kind of like the sponsor a lemur we saw in the very first build. Really awesome. These doors are really well done too. I love that they're like the detail. They actually look like real doors, and I'm always amazed that you've even got door stops down here. Like I said, the attention to detail in this one is amazing. Then so we're right inside, we came in here, and if you turn around and look here, you can see that we have our first view into the enclosure itself. And I don't see any aardvarks right now, but maybe they're outside. So the description for this one, while we're kind of taking a look around, says an exhibit that showcases the aardvark, a highly specialized keystone species that most people don't know nearly enough about, featuring dual habitats from one for a mother with her newborn cub and the other for the dad. Come explore their world and learn what makes these animals so unique and so important to their ecosystems. I think that is a phenomenal description, and this is exactly what we're looking at. So I imagine this is one of the dual habitats there. We have lots of custom signs around. We have insects cover the world. That's awesome that we're learning about everything about the aardvark, their environment, their food source, all that kind of stuff. We have a vending machine for some food, education up there. I love this little, this is the ant hill or termite hill, whatever it is, for the aardvarks to eat off of. This is a really cool sign over here. Aardvark cucumbers, a remarkable relationship, picky about their veggies. Awesome. Let's go out here. More signage on the wall here and some pamphlets to take. That is awesome. We're gonna head out. Oh no, not out. This is a bathroom. Wow, you've even put detail into the bathroom. That's awesome. So let's go ahead. We'll head out the front door then, and we'll kind of head over here to this side. Wow, look at the education. And this is outside of their exhibit here. Can we spot an aardvark? Where are they hiding? They are nocturnal species, and we're during the day, so maybe they are kind of hunkered down in their burrows wherever that is. But look at this railing and the lights that are in here. They can come down to the water on this little ramp here. And then this, I think, is my favorite part of the build. So we have Ask an Expert here. So we have a staff member standing there to answer questions. But then we also have this Did You Know and about the Aardvark tunnels, where we can actually go through this tunnel. I know we're kind of faking it here because we're too big. This is made for children, but look at that. It's a tunnel that heads over to the other side, and a little bit of education about it. I think that's awesome. The kids can kind of run through there. But if we start here, because I don't want to miss anything, this is the entrance over here to the other side of the habitat. But look at all of, you must have had to look up all of this information to include it. We have a little ant habitat there. We have some more signs over here. We have the den, and we have, oh look, maybe we can see them. Are they in here? No, they're not in here, but that's really cool that it's kind of cut off halfway and you can kind of see their burrow. Beautifully done. We've got more of those doors. Oh, and I think there's a cafe in here. So this is the den. Yeah, so this is where we can order some food. Wow, look at all of the detail. This one is beautiful on here. Wow, look at all the seating, ceiling fans. Awesome, awesome job. Back here we have bathrooms. Here we have a fire exit. Where does this go? Oh, it goes out into the back. Oh wow, we even have some backstage stuff back here. Wow. Okay, so let's go back in here and let's actually escape out of here, not out of the whole build, but let's take a look at this overall. You can see I don't have time to go through this whole thing, but this is just such a well thought out enclosure here. So please go over to the Steam Workshop, show the creator some love, show the build some love. There's an Aardvark with his head buried in his bedding. But look at the fencing on here. Super, super well done. I love the use of that as like a little ladder onto the roof for roof access, skylight into the gift shop there. Just, I mean, phenomenal. So well done, and all within this border here. This was the border that they had to stay within. So just amazing, amazing work. Thank you so much for entering the contest, and congratulations on your second place. We are going to hop into first place now to check it out. All right, guys, so in first place, we have a build by Caustic J. This is the Bornean Orangutan Conservation entry, and boy, oh boy, very deserving of first place. This one is beautifully done. Beautifully done. All of them are beautifully done. Like I've said throughout the entire video, these are all really well done, very creative. But you can see we have, starting off, our very first viewing area here, some custom signs on either side, and amazing views of the orangutans. None happen to be in front of us right now, but you can imagine if they were climbing all over here that we would get a fantastic view. I love the very realistic and subtle kind of electric fence here to keep them, if they did happen to try to climb up these walls, keep them within the habitat. And all the attention to detail with all the plants and things is a really amazing touch. We have some signs here about their little nesting areas, their little, what are these called? Like little beds? Yeah, nesting areas kind of thing. Going through here, we have Orangutan Trail. And then actually, I think I missed it. Over here, if we go up this little area, is a little seating area. So isn't this awesome? You can kind of sit down here, and I love the coverage of the bamboo on the underside of those raffia roofs, because I too really don't like the bamboo coloration of those roofs, but I like the texture of the top, so I tend to cover them up as well. So I really, really like that. And then we look here, we have a sign that says look up, and I don't think that they can actually use it, but the idea is that they can climb all the way up above your head, which is just amazing, and then climb all the way around. We'll take a better look at that when we kind of go out and look at the build overall. But let's go in here to the other little viewing area with so much education about the orangutans. This was such an awesome build to take a look at, because there is so much to look at in general. And then if we poke through the glass here, we can see that they have their little bedding areas, and look at the habitat. It's just so covered in trees. Oh, and there's an orangutan right there coming down to say hi to us. Oh, are there two? One, two, yeah. So we have a male and a female there running around. The keeper's feeding them. Oh, and look, a baby. So cute. But yeah, they have tons and tons of climbing. This is a really well designed shade here for them, and the glass for wind protection and stuff, so they come in here and they can sleep and hang out. Let's kind of back up here. I think that this one also has a really creative design for hiding the keeper hut areas. Is if we go down here, we can see that they are actually below that viewing area. So if we hop in here, we have the facilities that are also kind of encased and decorated. but they're down below where you were. So I think that that is a really creative way to kind of hide the facilities. We have another little backstage area over here, and then this is what I was talking about here, is that the orangutans can climb starting from here all the way around the habitat. And I just think that that is such an awesome and creative idea that is just, I would love it if they could actually use this, because that would be so cool to see. But overall, this is such a well thought out. I love the rock border and the fact that it's all custom around there. And then we've even got a border around the entire build all together. But this build, if you download this from the workshop, a really easy build to kind of add off of, because you can build over here and the path continues to go over there. So really good starting point if you want to start a zoo off of this one. But then we have, is this our custom roof? What are these pieces? Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. I really like the look of this roof, and I really like the look of this structure right here with all the glass and things like that. I think that is really well done. Let's see, where does this enter go to? Oh, okay. So they have a little backstage den area back down here as well, but that's how they get access to that climbing frame structure. So really well done, everybody. Thank you to everyone who entered. This was so much fun to hold, and I will 100% be doing this more in the future. I think I'm going to tweak the rules and guidelines going forward because we're just learning as we go. So that being said, if you have any recommendations, feedbacks, or comments for me, head over to the Discord and let me know there, but you can also let me know down in the comments section below. This was all for fun. There was no prize for the winner. So I just appreciate everybody participating, and I loved looking at all the builds. All of the build entries, regardless if they made the top 10 or not, are going to be linked down in the description below, so you can check out every single one of them. Because even though some of them didn't make the top 10, they are still worthy of checking out, and really the only reason for limiting it to 10 is because I didn't want this to be a 2-hour video. So that's really the only reason there was a certain number that we showed off today. So with that, again, thank you to all of the entries. Thank you for participating. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!